Hello and welcome to Gilli Pong! Analyses Atheism. I'm gonna try to do my best to go through this episode where I have these noises be in the background, which are my children. I will try to keep them in check. But I'm gonna go through Sam Harris, even though I kind of disregarded him completely. I noticed this one here. Final thoughts on free will. And let's just go through it. It's 44 minutes, so maybe I'll have to split this into a few parts. Not to make too long of a video. So, welcome. Let's analyze some atheism, why don't we? Final thoughts on free will. Ari, can you please stop having this noise? It's... Okay. Moving on.
Welcome to the Making Sense podcast. This is Sam Harris. Just a note to say that if you're hearing this, you are not currently on our subscriber feed and will only be hearing the first part of this conversation.
Okay.
In order to access full episodes of the Making Sense podcast, you'll need to subscribe at samharris.org. There you'll find our private RSS feed.
But don't consider that your free will to do. Don't subscribe if it's your free will. Only do it if you're following this subliminal messaging from Sam Harris.
Add to your favorite podcatcher, along with other subscriber-only content. We don't run ads on the podcast, and therefore it's made possible entirely through the support of our subscribers.
Okay.
So if you enjoy what we're doing here, please consider becoming one. As always, I never want money to be the reason why someone can't get access to the podcast. So if you can't afford a subscription, there's an option at samharris.org to request a free account.
Don't use your free will to do that either. Just do what he says, because you're hearing it.
We grant 100% of those requests.
But that's kind of cute, you know? That's beautiful. It's like open sourced information. Don't block it behind a paywall, you know?
No questions asked.
This.
There's an option at samharris.org to request a free account.
Yeah.
And we grant 100% of those requests. No questions asked.
But you have to use your free will to do that. So... But let's continue.
I have said and written a lot about free will over the years, and I wanted to get all of my thoughts, or my most effective thoughts, all in one place. Many of you find my argument against free will very provocative and even off-putting, and many of you mistake it for a philosophical argument.
I've been off-putting for about 3 months now. I don't really like pudding either.
That doesn't make contact directly with experience. So I want to see if I can do this all in one pass and actually bring some of you along with me into the end zone here. So here's the starting point.
Bring it on.
Most people believe that they have a self which enjoys something called freedom of will. And in fact, this feeling of self and the feeling that we have free will are really two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
But here I'm going to focus on free will because in many ways it's easier to deconstruct.
Okay.
Now, I found to my surprise that this is a very sensitive topic. And so here I want to offer the usual disclaimer. If it makes you uncomfortable to think about these things, you need to be the judge of whether this discomfort is healthy and worth pressing into, or whether it's actually bad for you. And in the latter case, just skip this journey with me. And it's
really hard when you don't have free will to do so.
probably not an accident that many people find the prospect that free will might be an illusion to be provocative, because the idea of free will seems to touch nearly everything people care about. Morality, law, politics, religion, public policy.
Being like George Clooney and have the communication skills of Oprah Winfrey, among others. The hedonistic way of living.
Intimate relationships, feelings of guilt and personal accomplishment. Most of what is distinctly human about us seems to depend on our viewing one another as agents who are capable of free choice.
Yeah.
And I say seems to because I don't think it does, really. But it can take a little while to see this. Now, most people believe that the challenge is to reconcile a subjective fact, the fact that we experience free will, with objective reality.
By the way, I'm using my free will to watch this video, by the way. By the way.
The way physical causes and events arise in the universe. But I want you to examine this. What I hope to impress upon you is that the illusion of free will is itself an illusion. There is no illusion of free will. And there are no subjective facts about it to reconcile with the truths of physics and neurophysiology. In fact, our conscious experience is perfectly compatible with a scientific picture of reality that does not stop or change character at the boundary of our skin. But generally speaking, this claim about negative outcomes isn't true either. Losing one's belief in free will can actually have very positive consequences. For one, it removes any rational basis for hating people.